Hello everyone and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. Well, welcome back for those of you that watch the rest of the OMSI 2 series. If you're new, hello and welcome to And More Bus Videos. So you join me in an older map, judging by the fact that we've got something with Kestrel Motor Services on it to mind the appalling OMSI 2 textures. We find ourselves in Farthington, specifically at the bus depot in Farthington for Kestrel Motor Services, where in this video we're going to be taking a little drive in pretty much what is widely now known as one of my favourite buses in OMSI. It's one of my favourite buses in sort of the real life world as well, the B7RLE Eclipse 2, otherwise known as part of the Veiling Pack by Master Switch Studios. Now I was having a little look through repaints. I was going to drive with a totally different repaint, but when I clicked on the specific vehicle I had a little look and it instantly pinged onto this repaint that once we pull out in a second, I will show you a little bit more about. I believe the registration plate is reflective of either 6152, 3 or 4 in the Go Northwest. Basically, it's one of these buses. It might be in Orbit's livery, or it might be in this. But either way, it's one of the WA12 batch that this specification represents. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a little trip on the one service that is the only route on Farthington as of now, from the bus depot to the main bus station. Farthington itself was created as a demo project by Whistlehead, an old name. There we go, an old name in the OMSI 2 world. Whistlehead then joined the UK development team, and the rest is history for their amazing projects that they've been working on. It would be really nice to see some progress sort of happen on this. We do know that a bit ago, I think we're on about a year ago now, some sort of published updates were sort of made. They were posted up to sort of denote the updates that have been made. But since then, we haven't had anything. That is a shame, but these things do happen. There we go. So the blind has loaded up. That was quite easy. Oh, no. There we go. Let's do that. So as you can see as well on the door, it has the one in, one out. Back in the days of when the pandemic was quite high, and that was something that Go Northwest introduced to put it on their doors. I thought it was rather swanky compared to most operators at the time. I do actually need to wait for the specific departure time, for which we're just going to ping that forward just so we don't miss anyone. And I'm going to put the route arrows up because it has been a while since I've driven on this map. So this Eclipse with Go Northwest is one of a small batch of old Plymouth vehicles. I believe there were the Green Flash, I think, and Green Flash liveried Eclipses, part of some of the Plymouth City Bus branding scheme at the time. The vehicles transferred to Go Northwest to usher out some of the Euro 3 B7RLE Eclipses, the older sort of 2005 and 2006 plated buses that Go Northwest and Go Ahead Group inherited from First Bus upon buying the Queen's Road depot from them. I believe we're going back to about 2018. So when they did the sale, unlike the Diamond Bus sale, where Diamond Bus only took most of the vehicles on lease, they then purchased their Eclipses only after they realised that they needed the extra vehicles. Everything else went back to First after the lease finished. Unlike them, Go Ahead Group and Go Northwest did actually purchase. Are you not? I didn't think you were going to be stopping. Go North West did actually purchase the vehicles with the operation. So they took over a lot of the B90 Geminis, some of which have now been withdrawn and have ended up in the northeast, out of everywhere. They've got B7RLEs, Enviro 400, streetlights, and they got the Euro 3 Eclipses. And to replace the Euro 3s, they absolutely love the concept of having Eclipses. They got some of these in from Plymouth, featuring sort of the lovely red seating, the headrests, next up announcement boards inside, and all of sort of the nice sort of maroon interior fixtures and fittings. Now, I've been wanting to go on some of these in real life for quite a while. I haven't actually had a chance yet, although I do keep seeing photos of them. So it is, they are a batch that I do fancy sampling at some point in the future, most of which are now branded for the Orbit 52 and 53 services that, as the name says, orbit around Manchester, not going into the city centre. Although, as with these things, allocations can sometimes not go to plan, and the vehicles do occasionally end up in the city centre on Bury routes, Warrington, sometimes even Warrington routes, and other services such as like the 41, if they are required where they are, and if allocations that they're planned don't necessarily go to plan. So I also thought, why choosing this livery, apart from the fact that it does look absolutely lovely, I have always been a fan of the Go North West Manchester livery. I mean, it is quite bland as liveries go, but I think sort of where my like to it comes from is the idea that yes, it's basic, yes, it's bland, and also I did forget to mention, but there is a destination board on the offside on these vehicles that they got from Plymouth. That again is pretty cool, and it's pretty cool now in OMSI that we can sort of, come on boss. It is also good that in OMSI we can sort of put set vars in, that means that we can actually have that feature. Yes, it does have an offside destination blind that I do think is pretty cool. But I also thought that choosing this livery is quite relevant, is sort of Go North West at the moment. As the operator that has just won the first Manchester bus franchising area that will be starting, if all goes to plan, in September 2023. So it is part of the scheme to basically franchise the entirety of the Manchester City network by the end of 2024. The idea is that unlike your London bus franchising scheme, where it works on franchising per route, the franchising scheme in Manchester is going to work via like per town. It has its positives and its negatives. I'm writing a report on that, so that's a discussion for another day. But overall, it's going to mean that areas are going to be run entirely, okay, fair dues, truck, are going to be run entirely by specific bus operators. So the first one is going to be Bolton, Bolton and Wigan, that is going to be predominantly and pretty much run by Go North West, and that's going to be minus sort of other routes that come in from other sort of areas, in the same way that London, if you go to the edges of London, you do get other operators such as First Berkshire serving areas like Heathrow Airport, for example, and things like that. So you do got to obviously consider those aspects. There we go, come on game. Do got to consider those aspects and those bits, but overall it is going to be Go North West in Wigan and Bolton, minus sort of obviously Transdev coming in on the one from Blackburn, and Arriva sort of North and West coming in from Chorley and beyond, and sort of Liverpool areas and those kind of things. But it is going to be interesting, and in Bolton they're going to pretty much wipe out Diamond Bus. Diamond Bus have then hopefully got another smaller franchise secured. I imagine they'll get more franchisers as and when they sort of come up. that will be interesting. Now, what ticket do you want? You've given me a fiver, so I'm going to presume it's 265. There we go. Have I just given you too much? I have, haven't I? There we go. Boom. Brilliant. Playing the guessing game because the red text in the corner for some reason is not coming up again. So basically, for the franchising, to ensure that it all runs smoothly and goes ahead as planned, hopefully in September, Go Northwest have started to get new vehicles and latest vehicles that were quite a shock to many, including myself. Were the ex-East Yorkshire and ex-North-East B7RLE Geminis that have arrived into Manchester. It's been a long time since Queen's Road Depot have run B7RLEs, and the last ones that they had just before the takeover by Go Northwest was a solitary B7RLE ALX 400, one of the 309s. It was like the last one, and Queen's Road kept it running pretty much up until just before the takeover by Go Northwest. Go Northwest never ran any B7RLEs in their fleet, but the last one at Queen's Road Depot that was sort of transferred, I believe. Oh no, we are going this way. No, they went round the roundabout. The last one sort of ended up transferring from Oldham to Queen's Road, and it was sort of like a depot toy pretty much. Rarely went out, did the occasional bits and bobs here and there in the reserve fleet, and that was about your lot. So it is going to be quite nice to see these B7s. I am a big fan of the East Yorkshire B7s. They're sort of the YX06s, and they make a nice sort of an axle whining sound that I've always been a fan of with the more modern B7s. I've not really liked the older ones. I mean, some of the older W regs I was discussing in my previous video, the WCWRs, they were alright. I like them because they sounded old and sounded quite rough B7s. But then I was also obviously going on the newer spectrum. Apart from them, I do prefer the newer ones because the newer sort of types have that sort of axle sound that I think is pretty cool. Are you not getting off there? Okay, I got to drop you actually into the station. It's been a while. Oh yeah, I forgot because that doesn't have a bus stop cube, and if it had a bus stop cube, they'd jump off. Something I meant to go into editor and do years ago and never got a chance. Yeah, it is very tight, is this bus station, especially for a long vehicle like this. We're not going to pull him properly, but I'll just dump it there. So there we go. So that was the 001 service, Route 1, from Barley Bus Depot all the way to Farthington Bus Station. Hopefully a nice run. It was a particular short video, but it is a short route. Hopefully you found the stuff interesting about Go Northwest. I am looking into doing some videos on the main and more central YouTube channel in relevance to the sort of changes that are going to be happening over the Pennines in Manchester with the franchising. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I've got a few ideas that I'm hoping to sort of look into. But if you do have any suggestions, do let me know in the comments below, because it is quite an exciting thing as bus franchising outside of London, and it's going to be very exciting to see how the model that Manchester are following, how it works, and if it works just as successfully as the one in London has done. For now though, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of nearly 5,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams and trains and more, there's something in that archive for everyone, with up to 21 extra videos added per week. So do go and check out those playlists and keep up to date with the regular uploads, because there'll be a video in there of a vehicle that interests everyone. For now though, I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.